What's up, fam? Welcome to a new No Presents special. This is not something that you can expect every week. We had to get outside of the group chat for a second to chat with y'all. We had to bring you into the group chat. Yes, you see my brothers in the building. By the way, my name is Dylan, one part of the assist, actually the one part of the assist. And I'm here with my whoever knows brothers. Patty, what up, baby? How we doing?
What up, baby? I'm doing pretty well, actually. Chilling. Got my coffee. Ready to go.
Valentine's Day, where we going? What we doing?
Oh man, you know what? This sounds terrible, but Friday we're not doing anything. We're just chilling. We're gonna kick it at the house. Saturday we got big plans though. We're going to dinner at a spot in the city that I love. Shout out Asteria Lupo. That's the spot. I couldn't think of it for a second. And then after that, we're going to Mamma Mia. Don't judge me. Wife's thing. So yeah.
I dig it. Listen, it's not a crime to chill at the crib when you're years in. Like the rookies got to do something. The rookies and rich people do something new every year. Sometimes you got to just slow down and cook a home course meal and think about the financial state of your life. Dave, what's up, brother? How we doing?
What's up, buddy? Hey.
What's up, brother?
What's up, brother?
What's on the docket for Valentine's Day for you, Dave?
Oh, we haven't even talked about it yet. All I know is I'm picking my son up from school that day, and he wants to go buy his mom some flowers. So we're going to go get his mom some flowers, and that's what we're going to do. We'll go from there.
Bravo to the young champ. Bravo to the young champ. Raising them right. What you drinking over there, Dave?
Coffee. We downed the smoothie already because we talked too much before this. So just coffee now.
If you guys don't know, these are the Brew Bros by as well. I'm a tea guy. I always got a nice cup of tea around me. I'm trying to ingratiate these guys into the culture, but Dave is fighting it. What we got, Patty? Update?
I have appreciated the tea. So Dylan, my man here, bought me some tea for my birthday a while back, some loose leaf tea. And I really like it. The only reason I didn't do it tonight is because I was not prepared. I feel like there's a little bit that goes into the process.
100%.
And I was like, I'm just hitting this button on this machine. Give me some coffee.
See, it's a process, but it's worth it. Dave, don't worry. Your day is coming. But as we said before, this is the group chat. The whole purpose of this show is we have a lot of conversations in our group chat, and it goes a bunch of different directions. And we decided there's so much going on within the sports world that we should just encapsulate everything, all the conversations we've had, and bring you into the conversation and see what you think. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start talking about the New Orleans Pelicans. I know you guys want to talk about the Saints and Kellen Moore and things of that nature, but we're going to start with the lowest of the low on the totem pole. And that the only reason the Saints are higher is because they just made a new hire, pun intended. But the Saints are, a lot's going on. I'll talk about the big thing that's happening. Obviously the Saints traded franchise stalwart. I mean, man, I don't know what else. I mean, Brandon Ingram. They've traded Brandon Ingram to the Toronto Raptors for Bruce Brown Jr., Kelly Olynyk, one first-round pick and 1 second-round pick. Dave, how do you feel about this trade as a whole when you think about Brandon Ingram no longer being a Pelican and the assets that were garnered in return for it? How do you feel about it all?
Well, first off, it was time. I love Brandon Ingram. I'm going to pull for Brandon Ingram no matter where he's at, no matter what he does. But it was time. It was time to move on. I see people saying I should feel good about the return because we got the first-round pick. And at this state, that feels like more than what we would have gotten. But I look at it as if you had traded him when you probably should have, the return would have been greater. So I'm not going to just give Griff a pass and say, hey, the first round pick you happen to get is a win. Like, yes, it's a win for the scenario we were in. But if you didn't hold on to him for as long as you did and traded him when you probably should have, you would have got a better return. So, cool. We got the first round pick. You can't put a value on that yet. You got to see what it turns into. As far as Kelly Olynyk and Bruce Brown, I don't care. I'm going to be honest with you. Like I'm shocked they're still on the team. Like
long term, by the way, according to Griff, long term.
I'm just gonna hop in. We still believe Griff.
Yeah.
We believe it comes out of that man's mouth.
Ooh, hot take. I'm gonna be honest, I don't. And I was a Griff guy, so I wanted the crazy thing, and I got a lot. This is where I kind of garnered a little bit of a social media following. I actually called for Griff to be the primary exec, and then my guy who's in Detroit right now, whose name is eluding me for some strange
Trajan.
Trajan Langdon, to be I actually called for it and it happened. And now I'm like, why did I say that? But anyway, I don't know what to think about Griffin. He seems like a dirty car salesman at this point. He can try and sell you this old beat up Honda that hasn't had an oil change, but because it has a new paint job, you believe. And I think we've saw the Honda enough that we're like, that paint job ain't as cool as having an engine that's going to last me until I make it off of this car lot. It just is sad to say, and you don't want to say that for some guy who's the most pivotal piece in your organization, but that's what I get. What do you guys get from? Do you guys believe in them? What are y'all thoughts on it?
Nope.
No.
Simple. Done.
I used to. I wanted to believe in him. No, I don't. I mean, like I went down a rabbit hole the other night. I was frustrated when I saw the AD trade and what that landed as far as Luka goes. And then I'm looking at we got Bruce Bowen and Kelly Olynyk for Brandon Ingram, who was the main part of that trade. The first round picks, I guess you could say you turned into Herb Jones. Like that's a piece. You got CJ, you got DeJounte. Technically, all those pieces come from that trade. But like, what is that giving you? And I don't mean to talk bad about any of that, right? Like DeJounte's phenomenal, CJ's phenomenal in his own right. But like, what is that actually giving you? I don't know. I just see all these pieces squandered, and that's frustrating as hell for me right now. And I'm just not feeling good about Griffin. And every offseason, we're going to have dramatic change. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And it's like, oh, we're also going to go into the season with like a guy that's not even going to finish the season in the NBA.
In
like,
the NBA, I wanted to throw something when I saw that. Dude isn't even in the NBA, and he was projected. I'm sorry. He was projected to be our starting center, and he's no longer even in the entire association.
Yeah. I'd be more mad if I could actually watch the games.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. That's a whole nother thing. if I could actually watch the games, I'd have been watching this nonsense all year, but I can't. Yeah. And I'm not going to buy an antenna to put outside of my house and run wires. Listen, there's too much that goes into it these days. All right. I bought the most powerful inside antenna. I can't catch nothing. This is a whole nother. It's ridiculous.
Really? So the antenna isn't even working. I have League Pass, so I don't even know.
Well, they sell Pelicans Plus, but at this point, I ain't buying that. What
I don't
buy
blame
that
you. Honestly,
it's the All-Star break Zion's playing, and we don't even have a relevant season. Who would have thought?
Think about that.
To be fair, he like has only been playing for a little bit of time, right? Like, yes, it's the All-Star break and he's playing, but that's possibly because he missed the first part of the season.
We hope that no one ever gets injured. That's always our hope. Every team goes through a lull of not having their stars at some point, but the rest of the team is able to keep it going. The issue is you shouldn't have to do that 90%. Did they only play 35% of the games together?
Yeah, I think it was like 34. I think I saw earlier.
You can't do that's the majority I'm playing with. That's not. So I'd say it's on Griff because I don't feel like doing math, but 100 minus 34 is what, 60 something? I don't know. 66. Like, I don't like 66%. I don't have my top two guys.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'm not saying you pull a Nico Harrison and do something idiotic like they're doing. We praying for you, Nico, by the way, brother. We know. I'm serious. It ain't safe for him in Dallas right now. He's
no, it's not.
That man is commuting from El Paso right now. He does not live in Dallas. But anyway,
you play stupid games. You win stupid prizes. So, I mean, look.
We'll tie a bow on this and we'll keep going because we got to talk about the Saints, the Super Bowl, what's going on in the WWE. And I got a little wrench to throw at you guys. We're going to have a little WWE CEO draft situation where we all have a different brand and we have like a top 10 draft. We're going to have some fun, guys. Come on now. Look, he's already locked in on that. The rest of the show doesn't matter today.
I've actually had a basketball Pelicans question I've wanted to talk to you about, Dylan.
Go for it. Talk to me.
I don't like seeing the Pels lose like this, but I'm all aboard the tank train, right? Like 100%. That's the direction the season's going. I'm embracing it. Now, as somebody who doesn't watch college basketball, I'll watch Miami if they're good because that's my team, but I don't watch college basketball like that. So is this a Cooper flag and then everybody else draft? Or is there that's what I want to know. How far down in the draft can the Pels fall to where they get a really, really good player?
Dude,
break it down for me as a casual.
I will be honest.
College
you can go top 10 and you can go top 10 and get a franchise player in this draft. Cooper Flag is like a notch above everyone. I'm gonna be honest, I was skeptical on Cooper for a while because I really like Dylan Harper for his name and his game, because Dylan's got to stick together. But and his dad is a pro. His dad was a vet. But dad is Ron Harper, who played with MJ, won chips with MJ. And he's being coached by Rick Pitino. So he's being groomed by NBA veteran coach. He's prepared for all these things. There's so many different guys. I mean, you got Dylan, you got Ace Bailey, who's just an athletic freak. I'm not really as big on Ace because he's a score first guy. There's this kid, I call him Jazz because I can't say his whole name. He's from Illinois. He's a small forward, but he's more of a guard. Played in the Euro League a little bit. He's a freshman. It's just, you can go. There's this kid, this post player. We don't need we do need a. It depends. There's this post over at Maryland, last name McQueen. He's tough. It's like, this is a draft where you do not trade any pick. You just get as many picks as you can in any round, first or second, because you're going to find that this is the draft where you're going to see a lot of those players who people were like, we didn't even know he existed. And he's going to pull up like a Dame Lillard type, just like out of nowhere. This one's got the ilk of that LeBron, D-Wade, Chris Bosh draft, where it's just like mellow draft. I didn't even mention mellow. I'm tripping. Mellow draft, like where it's just guys. So you could. Sorry, I get giddy about the draft because you're gonna hit on the guy. Patty's done with this conversation, as you could tell. What's going on in the Saints world, Patty? What's happening?
More. Man, Kellen Moore signs. That's what that was, actually. That's an inside joke.
That was disgusting.
I'm glad you're on my side. Because Patty disagrees.
That was disgusting. It sounded like a creeper trying to lure me into a bad situation. That's what
I can see it.
If Dylan's wife had come in the room just now and said Duval, he'd have ran for his life.
I would have ran for my with the eye she just gave me. I 100% would have thrown my phone out the window and ran.
She should have hit you with the peekaboo. We'll probably talk about that too. No, man. Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is officially the New Orleans Saints head coach, Super Bowl champion, youngest coach in the NFL. Kellen Moore dropping 40 on your squad and still throwing bombs to close out the game. Like he had no chill. He had zero chill in the Super Bowl, which I love to see. Man, I love it. I just, how are we feeling about the Saints? How are we feeling about the head coach?
For all the negative publicity the Saints got when it came to this coaching search, all these different coaches that didn't want you and this and that, for you to kind of fall into the Super Bowl winning youngest head coach, not a bad scenario. That's a win, right? He wasn't really the top choice for anybody, I don't think, at the beginning. And maybe it just kind of happened because everybody else said no and we were all like, oh, that guy's cool. But that's a damn good scenario to be in. Will he be good or not? I don't know, but I'm excited about it.
It's different.
I think an offensive mind is never a bad thing.
Yep.
Because the amount of offensive-minded coaches that have won championships in recent history, obviously we know that team in red that hails from Kansas City is kind of an anomaly of sorts. But offensive minds usually win, and I like that he's young. I personally love the idea of having a young coach, and not for the reason that other people are believing. Other people will be like, well, he'll be able to relate. Have you seen Kellen Moore? That man looks like he looks like he reads the newspaper outside of your grandmother's favorite restaurant. He does not look like he's going to relate to anyone.
My man's meeting at McDonald's for coffee with 3 other 70-year-olds.
And it's straight black coffee too. Nothing else added. But what I love most about it is you get to watch him mature, right? We always bring in these guys who kind of got, like Jim Haslett was treaded, and had a bunch of years in the league and all these things. Sean Payton was great. Obviously, we want that. Then you got Dennis Allen, who literally sucked. Hate to say it, but it's just a fact. In Oakland. Take him back to Oakland, by the way. Anyway, I digress. But, and then you bring him here hoping that just because he was around an offensive savant, he was going to learn how to coach, and he didn't. As a matter of fact, he brought some of his baggage with him and made things worse. We'll talk about that at some point, I'm assuming. So I like the idea of having a young guy who he's going to have bumps in the road. No one's expecting him to come in tomorrow and Sean McVay this thing, right? We're expecting him to come in, help reset, and help develop. And then maybe 2-3 years from now, we really are competing for a chip. Obviously, the NFC South is you could have a losing record and still win the NFC South. But, that's not the overarching. Well, hopefully that's not the overarching goal of everyone. I just don't think that goal will be met now. And I think watching the coach grow as the team grows, I'm excited about it, Patty, man. I like rebuilding and I like building, so I'm excited about it.
What are you more excited about? Kellen Moore being the coach or Derek Carr getting the hell out of town? Which one?
His tenure is a win if he does that, right? Like no matter what happens after that.
There was a point made. I want to talk about this. So the comment was, most people who defend Derek Carr voted a certain way.
Oh,
and he was like, "Oh boy, all right, I didn't realize this was what was happening here."
Now I threw you a certain way, and then you follow up with that tweet.
I told you I was going to get into it. You expected some stuff.
Smokes. I did not expect.
Listen,
it was wild. Anyway, I mean, the timeline gets wild.
When it comes to Twitter, you can't defend Derek Carr in any kind of way because they will jump on you. The reality is, like, if we're going to let's be real about the Derek Carr situation. Is he a great quarterback? Absolutely not. Is he going to win you anything? Absolutely not. Was he still probably the best chance for you to win this year and next year? Yeah. Like, the dude is not the worst quarterback in the league. Saints Twitter will have you believe that. It's just not the case. He's just not good enough to get you where you want to go. That's as plain as it is.
You know what it is though with Derek Carr and people. I saw somebody else in the comments like, "Oh, like why do you hate him?" The number one reason people always say is because he went to Chipotle first. People pick up stupid reasons. No, the reason people don't like Derek Carr, I'm gonna be dead honest with you. New Orleans is a city based on vibes and gut feelings and genuineness. And that man does not come across that way in any way, shape, or form. And I don't even know if that's his fault. It's just the way he comes across. And sometimes you don't jive with certain people, right? And he does not jive with this city. And when he has bad games or questionable things, and then he sits up in front of the media and he's just like kind of like holier than thou in a sense, or at least that's how it comes across. The city's gonna give him a big go F yourself because we don't mess with that. Give me Jameis, who's going to throw 4 interceptions and lead us to 8 and 9, right? And he's going to ride around and run into buggies during the Super Bowl. Like, give me that.
And now, let me tell you something, brothers.
It's not going to happen, Dave. Don't even do
it. Hold on.
I know what he's going with this.
You start floating out ideas.
I know
Titans want to trade this pick. and all it might take is 2 first-round picks and Derek Carr. Every day that ends in Y, I pull the trigger.
Let me tell you why I wouldn't do it. The only reason why I wouldn't do it. This is the only reason. Only reason why I wouldn't do it is because you have an aging team around him and you're broke.
Don't care.
I know
so you get the best. You get the best, the most important position, the most expensive position on a rookie contract.
But this is what I was talking about, Patty, when we were talking before the chat. I said, Dave looks at it and he says, that guy sucks. He needs to be out of here. Dave looks at Cam Moore. That guy's good. He needs to be here because he's the most important position on the field, which is right. You're right. But this is where you're right. But the right thing at the wrong time is the wrong thing because the rest of your team is ancient. You have a broken O-line. You're going to put him in a position where he isn't going to be able to develop. And just to give you an example, Mark Sanchez is historically laughed at in the New York Jets organization, correct? Do you know Mark Sanchez is if you look at statistically, he's one of the best quarterbacks the Jets have ever had. And he's won a lot with the Jets. But the issue is he went to who? The Jets. The Jets weren't prepared for a Mark Sanchez. I think this year you wait, you get the pieces around, and then when you're ready, you go, Archie, man, the next year.
Brother, you cannot. No, you can't.
Him play a full game in college football. Maybe you have, but we got to stop on the Archie Manning stuff.
Even if Archie Manning is what we think he could be, right? There's no guarantee you get that pick. You don't know. Nothing beyond this draft is guaranteed. Nothing.
Give me Cam Ward. Give me Cam Ward. Saints are the 6th.
If I got to trade stuff to get him,
they're not old.
If you got to trade stuff, listen. All right. So wait, I'll give you this. There is a line that I'm not crossing.
What's the line? Let me hit a line.
I don't know. You just have to throw it out there. No, listen, it's a gut feeling. Like if you throw it out there,
You got
the thing floating around Twitter. 2 firsts, Derek Carr, and a second rounder this year is what.
So you're not picking the first 2 rounds in this draft, and
but you have like 7 picks in this draft.
No, but still the
there are
first
8, 9 picks in this draft.
So I'm giving up my first this year, and then probably my first in 2027 because I probably ain't gonna give up the first next year.
It was 25, 26.
2 first rounds in a row and a second.
Go look at the most recent trade ups to the number 1 pick, and then tell me how 2 first round picks looks.
Who was it? Michael Penix traded up. Let's go see what Atlanta traded up.
It was 10
for Michael Penix.
That wasn't even first.
There is no way.
2 first round picks. If you don't hit on Cam Ward, that only sets you back 1 year.
But you're giving up 2. No, it's 2 first. Well, next year too. You're giving up second this year.
You're giving up this year's first, next year's first,
and a second this year. And second this year, you said.
Right. So you just miss out on next year.
You said it only sets you back for a year. You don't have a pick next year, so you set back 2 years.
Well, I'm counting. I'm 1 year beyond this year is what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter. I'm with you, but
I'm with you.
You don't. Award. Yeah. You listen. When Jaden Daniels got to Washington, no one looked at it and was like, "Oh, Jaden Daniels is going into this amazing situation." No, he was so good that he elevated Washington to be better than they actually were.
Ho. Jalen, the only reason Jaden Daniels wasn't going into a great situation, if y'all want to get into it, we can get into it. The only reason why this happened, she's got to stop peeking in here. It's giving me nightmares. The only reason why is because it was new ownership, first thing. Second thing, it was youth all over the field. You forget that they had Terry McLaurin on one side. They just drafted someone else I can't remember who was on the other side, but they just drafted a kid on the other side. Offensively, they were put together solid. Were they great? No, absolutely not.
Look shit up. Hold on.
But look it up. But it was not he wouldn't. That is not the same as coming into this situation. It's 2 night and day. They had just flipped over ownership. The team had been in downward spiral for year after year. New head coach, new offensive coordinator, new everything.
Are you describing Washington or the Saints right now?
We don't have a new owner. Our owner is still the same. And Mickey
y'all got to get off this owner thing. What does the owner matter?
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm saying I'm not talking about that, Patty. I'm saying that's why they said the Commanders were going to be an uproar because of the amount of turn. I'm not talking about. I love Gail. Fun fact. I feel like people hate on Gail just because she is who she is. I don't like Mickey Loomis as much. I'll just be honest about that. But as far as I just think we look into it. If you guys want to pull up that Commanders team pre-Jaden Daniels, it wasn't like he was walking into a bunch of last year or longest yard guys and he was going to have to Adam Sandler this thing. It was a solid team.
It's not like that with the Saints either. That's the thing. People are down in this roster saying it's old, it's garbage. It's injured is what it is. It's the same thing as the Pelicans. That offensive line looked phenomenal through the first 2 weeks. And
your star players are getting old. That's the issue.
My point. That's my issue.
Okay, but that's 3 people. Issue. Cam is old. Kamara's old.
Now, who's your rusher on the other side who you're not probably going to re-sign? Who came from the Commanders? Who was up and down some days?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your O-line, your D-line is messed up.
I'm not saying they don't have holes they need to fill.
Mm-hmm.
But they have the biggest hole they need to fill. I know you love Spencer Rattler.
No, that's not. I promise you. Listen, I am a Saints fan through and through. I don't care. I honestly, I do stuff just to be fun. Like the Spencer Rattler jersey, buying that, I had points. It was basically a free jersey for me because I had points. Of course, I'm gonna have a little fun. We ain't got nothing else. What am I buying? A Olave jersey? God, I pray he's just available from a day-to-day basis. True facts. I want the Saints to be great. And in my brain, Cam Ward is elite. Elite. I think he has the potential to be something special personally. I think if I could solidify my D-line because my two DNs, one of them's a free agent right now and the other one is on the other side of the hill. If I could solidify that, I can get a true number 1 wide receiver and I can find a serviceable QB. But that's the thing. Is Spencer serviceable for a year or 2? Or is he just not? I'm asking. I'm not.
I don't know. No, we don't know.
So that's what I'm saying. Like we
If
don't
he
know.
is, then he's better than he should be. If Spencer Rattler is serviceable at 23 years old on that contract, then you don't draft anybody.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, and that's all I'm trying to say is you could do the Cam thing. You could. And nobody's going to be mad at you. Nobody's going to say, what the heck? I might, because I don't like to mortgage the future because I got PTSD from the Pelicans doing it for so many years. I prefer not to. And I'm trying to look up this Atlanta trade right now. Dave, if you want to look it up. But I just feel like I would rather have Spencer Rattler start this year with and sign Kirk Cousins for next to nothing as a backup for a year and draft pieces around Spence than spend 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick, and Derek Carr don't care about that. You could have him for $20 and the gas.
I found the perfect example. Okay. The Bryce Young trade. All right, you ready?
Okay.
Panthers or the Bears had number 1. Guess what pick the Panthers were?
What?
9.
Okay.
Perfect example. They traded DJ Moore.
Okay.
2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. So what did people say when they made that pick? Okay, that they were out of their mind. Out of their mind. But listen, that's double what I'm trying to give up for Cam Ward.
Listen.
First off, it's a win. It's a win because I'm getting Derek Carr out of the building.
I'll give you that.
You're giving up 1 first-round pick this year, which you're not losing a first-round pick. You're just moving up. So you're not losing a first-round pick.
Right.
You're only losing 1 first-round pick. That's it.
But okay, so let me ask you a question then. Ooh, I'm gonna put you on the spot. If you move up to number 1, are you telling me? Oh, yeah, I'm about to get you in trouble. Let me find his name real quick. If you got the number 1 pick and you know the holes, are you taking Cam Ward or Abdul Carter from Penn State?
Cam Ward. You can ask me if I'm whoever. The answer is Cam Ward. If I'm trading up to number 1, I'm taking a quarterback.
When your defensive end is Cam Jordan and he's older, you're not going to take the best player in the draft, Abdul Carter. It's Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter. Those are the 2 best players in the draft. You're going to take Cam. I'm asking. I'm not
because if
you take a generational quarterback over a generational.
Yeah, I don't think Cam is generational. I think that's where
the difference. That's where the difference is.
If the score on him is as high as I think it is, which personally, if I'm the GM, I think Cam Ward is the best quarterback in the draft, and I think he's got skills to take you where you need to get. Otherwise, there's no reason to draft him. So if he's there with that mindset, you take him over everyone.
Yeah, if he's a bust, all this is then you're right. But if you believe he's a franchise-changing quarterback, you take him. And it's not even a conversation. And it's not even just Cam Ward. If you feel Shador is a franchise-changing quarterback, you can do that too.
Sure.
I just watched the Eagles. I just watched the Eagles dominate the best quarterback in the league because they drafted well on the defensive side of the ball. If I get the first pick and my defensive line is on one side is a free agent, the other is on the other side of his career, and I got a generational defensive end right there, and I don't know about this quarterback. I mean, but I could be wrong. Like I said, I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I hope I'm wrong because I like Cam's moxie. I like how he talks big talk. Like he makes Shador look cowardly a lot, and that's no disrespect to Shador. I like it. I'm always perfect timing. I like Shador, but I love Cam's bravado in the game, and he's got that. He can make a play when there is no play. I watched him win games on some crazy stuff. But if I get the first pick and I got the D line that the Saints have, and Abdul Carter stand me in my face saying, "Hey, best friend," I'm gonna say, "Hey, best friend," back. That's just me. But again, I could be in the minority.
But even if you hit on him, where are you at next? Like, even if I'm not trying to say Abdul Carter's not going to be good. That's not what I'm saying here at all. Great, you hit on a defensive end. So what? Like, you're still far away. You need a quarterback. If you happen to get Arch, sure. That works out, but you can't guarantee that.
There was a wise man, and you're going to know this wise man very well, Dave. There's a wise man that once told me, you draft a quarterback every year until you get the quarterback. You know who that wise man was? You, Dave. You told me that.
Me.
You say you draft a quarterback every year.
And I'm trying to tell you to draft a quarterback and you're telling me no.
But what I'm saying is, so what is the, listen, and this is going to, never mind, I'm not even going to bring that up because I don't want to sound like an idiot. I was about to compare Quinn Ewers to Cam, and that would have been disrespectful to Cam. Yeah, I'm not. The Lord intervened right there. I feel it. But we'll table that one. That'll be a good pie for his own self. But I personally, it's not because I love Spence, because Cam is elite. But I think there's so much need on the defensive end of the ball, and we just saw defense basically win a championship. Like, we've been whining all year. Trey Hendrickson, look, oh, Zach Bond, oh, look, oh. And these guys are in other places, and we have if I get the first pick and I can load up on that end, listen, personally, I watched Trent Dilfer win a Super Bowl and throw minimal passes.
You're gonna make the exception to the rule instead of the rule. We're doing that. Don't do that. You know damn well. Personally, I don't think you're trading up. It'd be phenomenal to trade up. I think if I'm the Saints, I stay put. I take, I don't know, maybe take the running back out of Boise if he's there because you need a game changer. Yeah, take Genty. And then in the second round, it's kind of crazy to go offense, skill position, but I go Jalen Milroe.
Ooh.
And
why would you? Well, if you could, hot take, I think they said Milton is available. Joe Milton is available for New England. Instead of drafting Milroe, you could just trade something and get Milton, and he's showed more promise than. That's just my thoughts. I don't know.
But yeah, that's fair. I mean, if you could sling a fifth for him or something, why not?
That's what I'm thinking. Listen, I don't want to draft. I don't. Milroe makes me nervous. I don't know why, but he does, and I'm probably in the minority again. And I'm not the football guy, but I watched Milroe play like he was the second coming of freaking Cam Newton against us, and then turn around and throw 3 interceptions against Vanderbilt. And I was like, what the?
People have bad games. I look at him as he needs to be coached. Like, he needs to grow. He's got a phenomenal running game. And I'm looking at a guy who just came from a team where the quarterback was looked at as a running back, and all of a sudden he turned it on and now he can throw the football. I'm just hoping that he can do the same thing here.
When you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
I can't argue that point.
It's all about value. You're not taking Milroe in the first round. Then you're kind of like, you're looking at it like, what are we doing? Right. But if he's there in the third round, I don't even know what his draft grade is right now. Like, if you take Jalen Milroe in the third round, it's the same thing as taking Spencer Rattler last year.
I think they're saying second is the crazy part. But they're also saying Jackson Hart's going to go 9th overall.
Yeah, I saw some goofy people saying he should come to no. Like, if I had this thought, if you want Jackson Dart, and this is not me hyping up Spence, if you want Jackson Dart and you did not like Spence coming out, you're just one of those people who just wants the new next thing. Oh, it's new. They're the same player except remade over, and one had the great Lane Kiffin is one of the greatest offensive minds to ever exist, and then Spence had Lincoln Riley for 1 year, who was solid, and then he went to South Carolina, who, from what I hear, their quarterback might go in the first round next year. But before that, did we hear anything about South Carolina and quarterbacks?
No.
Much respect to Beamer, but I ain't heard him produce. The last Beamer I saw produce a quarterback was Virginia Tech, and his name was Michael Vick. That's just all I know. But
also, fun fact: Spencer Rattler leaving Oklahoma. Like, a lot of people look at him leaving Oklahoma like he got beat out. Like, he's a loser for that. He lost his job to Caleb Williams.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Are we talking about the Super Bowl? Let's talk about that. Let's rate it. As far as the Super Bowl goes, listen, guys, I'm gonna be honest. I don't even remember the score of the Super Bowl because I went to sleep. What was the score? Did anybody know? It's like 40,
a lot to a little.
40-22. A lot of garbage time points put on by the legendary Patrick Mahomes. What are y'all thoughts on the Super Bowl? Did y'all enjoy it? What was your highlight of the Super Bowl and the whole nine? Just talk to me.
The game itself, nothing. I got nothing. I got no thoughts. That game sucked. Kellen Moore put on a show for me, and I was like, hell yeah, buddy. And that was it. Moved on with my life.
And scene. I liked Xavier Worthy. He put up he had like 157 yards and 2 garbage time touchdowns. Shout out to him, young boy. He had a up and down season for the Kansas City Chiefs. That was super cool to see a young guy like him get his shine in the Super Bowl, even though it was kind of garbage time stuff. So that was that. Travis Kelce looked out of whack. Like, when did you ever think you would see him drop that many passes in the Super Bowl game? Do you think that, and this is going to sound crazy and it might sound like super stupid, and you probably already know what I'm going to ask. Do you think the whole Taylor situation or anything kind of just was like overwhelmed the moment, or y'all think he just was off?
He's just off. I think he's getting old. I think he's just not the player. You saw it last year. He wasn't quite the player. He was all season last year. He wasn't that great. And in the playoffs, all of a sudden he was good again. But this year he was up and down. Playoffs. Let's talk about this for a second. This is what I really want to talk about. Travis Kelce shows up to the game wearing this 70s shimmery outfit, gets his head knocked in, and has to leave wearing this shimmery orange shirt. Like, come on, man. How you feel if you just got your head bust in the Super Bowl and now you got to leave looking like you going to the disco,
looking like a Skittle?
Yeah,
my man thought he was leaving in a Super Bowl shirt, bro. Like,
he thought he was leaving with a ring on Taylor's finger, and he was like, "I gotta make this moment big, man."
It's crazy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We know. Okay, we kind of danced around it. This Super Bowl was a dud. Everybody really wants to talk about the halftime show. As the resident K-Dot fan, I'm gonna relinquish the floor and hear with you guys, because I know Dave is a big Cole fan. Patty, you kind of diversify your palette from here to there. You kind of care about. Are you Cole fan? Dave? You made a face.
I am a Cole.
That's what I said. I said you're the Cole fan. You're a Cole fan.
Yeah, but you painted it as I don't like Kendrick.
No. I'm not painting it as that. I was just saying it just because of the triangle. And remember, we had, again, this is the extension of the group chat. You remember? And in the group chat, we had a conversation about Cole and K-Dot. So we're just keeping the group chat going. So Patty, you kind of like talk about a bunch of different. You never really leaned on one. So how did you feel about the halftime show and whatnot?
Well, first of all, I appreciate art. So that was always the thing. Like, I like Cole. I like K-Dot. I like Drake. Crucify me for it. It is what it is. In the moment, I thought there was something missing. I was like, man, this is K-Dot. This is Kendrick Lamar. This is him putting on a show. But at the same time, I was like waiting on the next thing. I was waiting on the thing, whatever that was. It was a good show, but I was waiting on the thing. And then it ended, and I was like, man, like, it was good. It wasn't the worst of all time. I've seen some people talking crazy. It was definitely not the worst of all time. But I was like, man, like, I don't know, I was missing something. And then, just like any Kendrick Lamar piece, it simmered, right? Took the time to simmer. You see the breakdowns. I had to read a 10-page document about it. And then I was like, oh, there it is. It was phenomenal. But yeah, man, in the moment, I thought it was lacking something. I can't really explain it. To me, it just felt like it was just a big hit piece on Drake. But afterwards, I saw a lot of the symbolism, and I appreciate it for the art that it is.
I don't know, man. It was. Patty's right. It was Kendrick. Like, I don't even know how to explain what I felt about it. I don't think it was bad. Like, I don't think it was a bad performance. I think I said that if he had just played more of his hits throughout it, I would have enjoyed it more. Like, I get the symbolism, I get all of it, but I wanted to be more entertained by it. And if he had given me swimming pools, if he had given me backs, like if he had given me the hits, I would have been more entertained by it. And that's this part of the halftime show that was missing for me, was the entertainment part. Now, listen, he had the moments where it was entertaining. Don't get me wrong. When he does squabble up, and it's the second he gets to Not Like Us, the show, it took off for me. Like, when it got to that moment, I was all in, because the energy picked up from there. I think part of it too was the game was so boring that I was hoping the halftime show would pick me up a little bit, and it did not until the end.
Yeah. being a Dot fan, and I've been a Dot fan. Honestly, I became a Dot fan when I was listening to to Pimp a Butterfly in an airport. I can't remember what airport it was, and instantly from that moment on, I went back and listened to everything, and I've listened to everything forward. I still buy his stuff. I don't buy stuff. I don't buy albums anymore. I stream. I make sure I buy anything Dot comes out with because I value Dot. And so the issue. So for me, when I first watched it, I kind of had the same response that Patty had. When I first watched it, I was kind of like, I was waiting. I was like, yeah, this like, because when I know that in some people's eyes, Kendrick is only big because of Drake. And I hate that. It makes me so mad because Kendrick has been putting in work for years. I wanted Kendrick to take us on the journey of his career and celebrate his career. I wanted him to bring people up to par of why he has been the dopest MC since his inception. Not like he didn't just show up with Not Like Us in this beef. He been here a long time putting in work. I mean, song after song, hit after hit. The dude has won. I mean, he's got a 16-time platinum, not 16-time platinum, but just he's won stuff on top of stuff, just renowned. And so initially I was like, show him Ken, show him Dot, show him K Dot. Okay, show him Kung Fu Kenny. Okay, show him Kendrick. So like I wanted them to see the bunch of different nuances of who he is. And so when it didn't happen initially, and I put it in our group chat, I was like, it was all right. Like, because I had different expectations and I wanted him to put the world on notice. Like I've been that dude. Like I've been better than your favorite artist. You just finally catching on. But then when I went back and looked at the symbolism, I was like, the point you were trying to make, Kendrick, you made it in a 10 out of 10 flawless fashion. I just don't watch the Super Bowl for symbolism. That was my issue.
I could not explain how I was feeling, and you just did it.
That was my issue. Is if I was going to a Kendrick concert, I would have been in that mug like, oh my goodness, I would have been on the way home, bro, he did this for this, bro, he did this for this. But when I'm at a Super Bowl, I'm with the friends, you know, nobody's really trying to think, the Super Bowl is a national holiday. We're all just trying to vibe, and you just want to enjoy the moment and celebrate the history and the culture of the Super. And so my brain wasn't attuned or locked into decipher mode like I am when I'm listening to his music. My brain was like, let entertain these people and show them that you've been that cat. And so that's why I got to give it kind of an incomplete for me, because I wasn't listening to it from the right thought process. Because again, like I said, it's the Super Bowl. I wasn't thinking, oh, it's time for me to look for double entendres and I need to go look back at the historical context of America. Like there was one part that was dope. So there's a part where he's rapping and there's a bunch of dudes, and I'm gonna put y'all on something. There's a bunch of dudes behind him making an old doo-wop beat-bop beat. It's ooh, and he's talking about, it's just paint to me. Would you want the famous me or the dangerous me? He's just going off and off. And then Samuel L. Jackson comes up and says, I see you. He said, you've gotten the old clique back together. Scorekeeper, deduct 1 point. Now, what he was talking about there is if you saw all of the people, they were dressed in white. White is historically, you know, you've ascended, gone on. And when he's deducting 1 point, he's saying anytime your people get together outside, someone dies. So scorekeeper, deduct one of these people because y'all don't know how to get along outside. Y'all kill each other when y'all outside. See, in that moment, I couldn't have caught that. But when I went back, I was like, dang, that's crazy. And so that's why I got to give it an incomplete. Sorry for that long soliloquy, but I am the resident K-Dot fan. Bravo, brother. What you did was beautiful. It was magnificent. I just was not prepared mentally for it, and I wish I would have been. And but bravo for you doing that after the fact. Much respect. So.
And people will say, and rightfully so, like if you're going to make a statement, what better place to do it than the most watched thing that happens all year? And that's fair. It's just it can be two things can be true, right? Like it can be great art. It was a good show, but it can also just not be for me. Like initially, I said it was boring, and I feel like that's not the right way to phrase it.
That's like, the most Dave way to phrase it, but it's not.
In the moment, like Patty could probably vouch for it. In the moment, it was kind of like he said, he's waiting for the next thing to happen, and I'm like, I was told there was going to be a big surprise, and it's Serena Williams. I'm like, that's cool and funny, but also like that's not what I wanted. Like I don't even know what I wanted, but like that's not it, you know.
Yeah. I appreciate the Serena thing because like a lot of people look at that as just a Drake thing, but I felt like it was even deeper than that.
Talk about it. Do you know the
like the of her, like what didn't she crip walk at the
at Wimbledon, I think, right?
Yeah, Wimbledon, and like people crucified her for it.
Yeah.
And like wasn't the whole premise like this is just me trying to dissect it. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Wasn't the whole premise of this performance kind of like the revolution will be televised, right? Like you can't like you're not going to tell me what to do. Like that you can't hold the culture back anymore. Essentially, like this is who we are, and we're front and center, and there's no more hiding or running from it, or not even to say like that, but just like this is who we are.
You can't suppress it anymore. You can't suppress it. We're here. Yeah, 100% agree. And there also is another. It's that in the Serena point, and if I'm not, you guys can fact check me. Serena point is kind of a double entendre. It is one, that Wimbledon thing where they did not like her for crip walking at Wimbledon, and on the flip side, her half sister was killed by a crip.
Yeah.
And so and she was dressed in all blue. So it could come off on one side as, hey, I want peace. I'm uniting. I know you heard that, but I'm choosing peace with you. Like I'm doing your dance and wearing your colors because I choose peace. But on the other side, because those people hated it, I'm doing it to stun on them. I'm choosing peace with my people, but I'm stunting on their people for hating on me for crip walking and bringing my Compton culture to a sophisticated platform. So that was. It's just a lot that was went on. My bad, K-Dot. My bad, Kung Fu. My bad, Kenny. My bad, Mr. Duckworth. I wasn't prepared. It's on me. I'm the problem.
To put a bow on my feelings on it, it just wasn't what I wanted in the moment is all. Is really the easiest way to put it. Like you said, if I had been in the arena on a Saturday night at a Kendrick concert, I'd have been like, this is it. Like, this, this is awesome. But it just, because you're running through a play like the set list when it's the Super Bowl and you only got 12 minutes. Like I want to hear, like you said, I want to hear what I like Kendrick for. And
Can I give y'all my
that was it.
Just to close it up again. I know I'm the resident K-Dot fan, so I'm taking liberties. I'll shut up a lot during the wrestling portion. This would have been my dream set. Dream set would have been starting it off with swimming pools, just to get us going a little bit. And then it would have been, because I only got that amount of minutes. Then you got to throw in Scissor Luther, if this world's mine. But I would have threw that in on the back end. I would have went from swimming pools to swimming pool to Be All Right, to Humble, to a little bit of Luther, and then I would have finished with Not Like Us. Because I would have taken you on that. I would have gotten you calmed down and talk to you about my alcohol addictions and things when I first started. Then I would have went to, hey, now I'm about to let y'all know this is about the culture. We gonna be all right. And then I would have went to, okay, now it's time for me to talk to Boy. Sit down, be humble. And now I need to talk to the ladies. We're gonna smooth this thing. I know y'all came for Scissor anyway, but now I'm back to the Boy. You not like us. Like I would have done that personally, but that's why they didn't pay me to be there. So yeah. Just to put a bow on that. Dave, what's going on in the world of wrestling, man? What's new? What's grinding your gears these days, man?
We could talk about it, but I'm really interested in this thing you want to do for wrestling. So we can very briefly touch on what's happening in the world of wrestling right now, if we want to. Really the only thing to talk about is this Yeet-Mania season, and that's it. Right, like am I missing anything, Patty? Is there anything like really interesting other than that going on right now?
Nah, not really. Yeah. I'll be honest with you.
So it's that like and the Jey thing has brought up a bunch of interesting conversations that like Patty and I have had in our little wrestling group chat a couple times. Like there's a lot of people that are like, oh, this guy's only got 4 moves. Why are we doing this with him? Blah, blah, blah. And that's the most frustrating part. You're asking what's grinding my gears these days. And it's the internet wrestling community that's just like, Jey shouldn't be here because he's not great in the ring. And every time somebody says that, and Patty says the same thing when I say this, these people must not have lived through the Attitude Era and watched the same people I watched. Because the greatest, really almost all of the greatest, the people we refer to as, not even just we, even some people's GOAT, John Cena, not the greatest in the ring. Like that's not what makes you That's not what makes this interesting. Sure, you can get in there and not have a great character and put on an absolute show of a match. Like I'm not doubting that. That can be fun too. But when we're talking to the WrestleMania storyline, I want the storyline. And there ain't nobody that's getting people to buy in more than Jey Uso right now. Nobody.
Listen, flips and kicks don't make you feel emotional.
Ooh.
I'll just leave it at that. It does.
That's a bar. Do you think he has who do you think career trajectory Jey is on? Do you see I saw Jeff Hardy. I think he'll be big. I think he'll be bigger than Jeff. You want to know why? Because Jeff was self-destructive. And you know how much I love Jeff. Y'all know Jeff is my Allen Iverson.
Well, look at Jey Uso's history here for a second.
I know, but no. But since Jey has been on top, he's cleaned himself up.
I see what if Jeff Jeff said it himself in his interview recently, where he said that if I had stayed clean, I could have been John Cena.
Yeah,
and I don't like people were kind of shitting on that, and I was like, I don't think these people lived through.
They did
the Jeff Hardy era. And what you're saying is if Jeff Hardy had the longevity, it'd be bigger than he is, which is hard to imagine. And Jey still has time, I guess, to have that longevity at the peak Jeff Hardy level. Ever since somebody said that he's this generation's Jeff Hardy, I can't see anything else.
I don't see. I think.
Let me tell you something, Dylan.
Go ahead. Tell me something.
I was kind of like iffy on it too, because Jeff Hardy is my all-time favorite wrestler. But when I walk in my living room and my 5-year-old, who doesn't watch but 3 minutes of wrestling with me, is walking around my living room going yeet, 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 I'm like, this dude's got a level of influence that I haven't seen since Jeff Hardy. Now, we're not talking in the ring. Jeff Hardy is a different type of beast in the ring compared to Jey Uso. Like, we're not like he's not doing what Jeff Hardy was doing, which is part of the reason we all fell in love with Jeff Hardy. But when you're talking about the underdog going through the singles run, he's even this past week, not to get like too current, but he gets beat down by Gunther and then he stands up to him. And it reminds me of Jeff Hardy standing up to the Undertaker. Like it's the same thing. And I don't know, man. He's hard to deny right now.
I agree, but you're going to kill me. I think he has the potential to be bigger than Jeff just because of the reason I said. My heart doesn't want to accept it. Y'all know how much I love Jeff, but because Jeff's self-destructive nature, Jeff could have been one of the biggest. He could have been bigger. He's Allen Iverson. He's the Allen Iverson. No, Shawn Michaels is the Allen Iverson of that's not. Shawn Michaels is Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels is the Kyrie Irving of the WWE. Just like extremely gifted, naturally talented, maybe undersized, but he can do everything well. Like that, Shawn can wrestle however you want to wrestle, and he probably will do it better than you. But like, right now, Jey Uso, and this is gonna sound crazy. Jey Uso is in his Daniel Bryan phase. I think he's ascending and he's bubbling. You know how Daniel Bryan had everybody still does. Yes, yes, yes. And Daniel Bryan is the underdog. There were legends in the ring. And who were they chanting? Daniel Bryan's name. And they wouldn't stop until Mark Henry held up Daniel Bryan's hand and calmed them down. I think right now he's at that Daniel Bryan trajectory. There's going to have to be something else that, in my opinion, that snips him above that, because Yeet is cool, but what happens when John Cena started out having us say, "You can't see me," and now it's kind of like he just wrestled. It makes me want to throw up, but he outgrew that, for lack of better verbiage. Like, he still did it, but it wasn't his main thing. Like, what happens when that? And I can't wait to hear Patty's boiling. Give me what you got, Patty. What you think?
I'm boiling because I agree with you more. I don't think there's anything after. That's my fear right now. Yeet is cool. The crowds love him. My daughter loves him. Your son loves him. Of course, he wins the belt. It's cool for 2 months. He can't cut a promo. He can't wrestle. how long does just him coming out dancing with the crowd carry him to superstar? He's not as like he's fun and he deserves the spot he's in right now, but he's not on. There's levels to this. There's Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
There's Seth Rollins, and there's everybody else, right? Like, and there's Cody. Sorry,
is CM Punk up there? Because y'all like,
I'm skipping over. But
okay,
but Jey is not up there is what I'm saying. And he's got to figure out how to tell stories with his words because he can't really do that yet.
When we've seen Jey have moments where we're like, oh, that was a good Jey promo. Yeah. When he had the match with Roman, like that was some good moments. He had good moments in the past with Gunther, with Braun, right? But it's not consistent. He hasn't been consistent with it. I think the thing for Jey, and this is what I said, is he needs the right dance partner. Bingo. Right? Like you're gonna need. We saw it last year. They put him with Jimmy, and that should have been a great storyline. Should have been. Two brothers going, one screwed the other. That should have been good. But you got two guys that are exactly the same, which surprisingly, Jimmy is a great promo. I didn't know that. But like, I don't know. He's just a guy that he needs when somebody else can bring like the best out of him. That's when he really shines.
I was thinking he probably needs like to get the title. He needs CM Punk to CM Punk him. Like how CM Punk comes in and gets real jealous. I think he needs a CM Punk to come in and say, I've been doing this for forever, and to elevate him. Because CM Punk, hate it or love it, he is one of the best of all time at pulling the best out of his contemporaries. Like him, Seth Rollins just makes you look like an idiot because he's elite on the mic. Like Seth is just like, that dude is not from this era. I feel he had to have done something crazy behind the scenes to not be even bigger than he is, because he's attitude era stuck in this era, in my opinion. But CM Punk has that aura that he can pull it out of you, but also carry you when you need it, in my humble opinion. There might be some other guys. You guys have been tapped into the culture a little longer than I have.
I think all roads lead to Roman. I'm going to be honest. The Bloodline story, to me, has always been about Jey. Always. In my head, Jey wins the title. Roman gets jealous. And that kind of leads to that. And then you got Jey working with Roman again, which is some of the best work we've seen him do. So, and I think that's the path. Now, I think they have to get to it quickly because, like you said, if there's not, I don't know that Jey is going to elevate anybody, is the way to put it. But that's not to say I don't think he can be in a good story.
I agree. I think you're right. He needs the right dance partner. That's the best thing you could have said. Best thing you could have said.
I agree. And I think Jeff Hardy is like, I think the same was for Jeff. Like Jeff, I remember when Jeff first started talking, I used to tell him, please don't talk, just wrestle, because I love Jeff Hardy so much as a wrestler. But over time, when he embraced, this is going to sound bad, but almost felt like the more inebriated he got, this is sad, the more he like let loose and like free flowed. And it was still choppy, his mic work, but at least it was palatable. Like, I never think Jeff Hardy was great on the mic. I just think he was great at telling the story with his skill. And that's why I mean.
Yeah. Listen, man, sometimes you just want to see the moment in wrestling, right? And that's where I'm at with this.
Thank you.
Honestly, whatever happens, if he doesn't win at WrestleMania, we're gonna have a whole different conversation about this whole thing. But if he gets his moment at WrestleMania, it's almost like I don't care what happens after that. If he loses it 2 months later, okay. The path to get there was fun, and that's it.
I remember when we were talking a while ago, you guys were big on LA Knight. Like, I remember we were like, that's literally what y'all were saying. Yeah, I remember that was our conversation. And I kept telling you guys, I was like, I don't know. He's not connected. I remember us about the pod. We were about the pod to talk about the Pelicans or something. Yeah. And I was just like, he just does not connect with me. And y'all are like, no, he's the guy. It feels like this is another shooting star to me. Like an LA Knight shooting star. That's just, the only difference is he got to ride the tribal tread higher than LA Knight didn't have anything. LA Knight was like from the streets. Like he literally got thrusted into the spotlight by the fans. That was one of the first guys we've ever seen. Literally, the fans put him in the spotlight. Whereas Jey was with the tribe for so long, and he would roll with Roman, and so we got acclimated with them, we got ingratiated with them, and obviously we could relate, right? We all have struggles with our families, and we all take sides in the person with our family. And I think we start to root for Jey because Rome had been on top for so long. It's like, yeah, Jey, you deserve it too. You've been here. LA never had that, and so I feel like the reason why you guys made that face when I said LA is because you're like, no way, he's never been as big as him. Well, their trajectories were different. And I'm nervous that we're looking at an LA Knight just at a different levels up, if that makes sense.
It depends how they book it. You're spot on that Jey has a story. LA Knight had a story in a sense, and it was just kind of like, I'm undeniable. Right. Yeah. Like it's kind of like the fans love me. Here's who I am. Like I'm better than you. I'm gonna chase gold. And then it just kind of sputtered out. And that was kind of it. Fans still love him.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, he still gets a pop, but it's just there's not a story there for him. They gotta figure out if they get him in a story, I guarantee you he takes off again.
I know everybody's excited about what the ideal. So we're gonna have a little fun, and we'll kind of culminate the episode. Hopefully this was fun, guys. I enjoyed this. Did y'all? Hopefully y'all, because y'all are literally seeing how our group chats go. Yeah. This is literally it. And this is kind of each one of us is going to take a WWE brand. It doesn't matter which. I personally like SmackDown. Always have liked it more. I'm kind of an anomaly of sorts there. You got SmackDown, NXT, Raw. You get 10 draft picks. You have to draft 3 women all time. All time. This is everybody. And you have to concoct the best 10-person roster. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our 10-person rosters and we're going to post them on social media and let people decide whose roster will win or whose roster is the strongest. So which one do you want, Dave?
I'll take NXT. That's fine.
All right. Patty, which one do you want? Raw, SmackDown? We're going to snake peck. You're going to the last one? Okay, so you're going Raw. We're actually going to snake draft this bad boy. So, okay, first on the board, Dave, who is your first overall pick? All time. Son of a gun.
On the NXT
brand. Imagine him on the NXT brand. That would be insane. All right, I'm going The Rock.
Yeah, those are the first 2 picks. They had to be. I'm going Shawn Michaels.
Oh, okay, you pick again. I thought Shawn would make it to the second round. Dang it.
Michaels is top 3 all time.
Because you know ball. Because you know ball. Because you know ball.
Who do I go? This is the interesting one because I go modern or I can keep it throwback. I mean, there's one there that
I know what you're gonna say.
I'm gonna go Undertaker.
I knew it. I shouldn't have did this with y'all. Okay, that was my second pick. Shoot. Okay, I'm going Ric Flair.
Woo! I'm taking somebody that might be drafted a little early. If we're going all around greatness, I want Eddie Guerrero.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
I can't hate on that pick.
I got the GOAT, and then I got possibly the in-ring GOAT with some charisma.
Ooh, hot take.
I don't know that that's a super hot take.
In-ring GOAT, Eddie?
I said possibly. I didn't say definitively.
That's why I was saying it's a hot take.
Patty might have the in-ring GOAT in Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I agree with that. That is. Okay.
I got like Hispanic Shawn Michaels, basically. Trying to think of some. Let's go with Sting.
Wow.
It's Sting. Okay. Good.
Wow.
Let's go with Sting.
First shocker of the draft. Sting taken in the 3rd round to start.
This is all off the top of my head. There's probably somebody's gonna draft somebody in the 6th round and be like, oh yeah, that guy.
That guy.
Yeah. Oh man. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm a reach right here. I'm going Trish Stratus, 3rd round. Trish Stratus, 3rd round. I got to get the women out the way. I'm going Trish Stratus.
Are very interesting here.
Trish Stratus, 3rd round.
Mine is what big name can I think of in the moment?
Back to back here. I'm going for crowd pleasers. I'm going John Cena.
Fair.
Disgusting.
and then I'm going.
Patty's trying to win the draft. I
I'm
get
trying
it.
to win. I don't know what
Yeah,
you guys are doing.
CM Punk. That's a good. Yeah, I didn't think of it.
Just wait till I pick Buff the Stuff Bagwell and shock the world.
You know what? If we're going off, since we're going just in the ring, he was a disgusting wrestler, but my goodness, did he get the people going? I'm going Goldberg.
I mean, okay. He got the people going. You're right.
He got the people going. All right, it's on you, Dave, 2 times. Don't forget your ladies.
Yeah, no, I know. Why are you laughing?
We know who we know. I'm gonna just go ahead and write down who you're gonna pick for your ladies.
No,
you sicko, you.
Man, I
draft Liv Morgan 3 times.
No, I don't know why. The name in my head, I'm going Scott Hall.
There you go.
Bad guy.
Like I feel like I have good picks, but they're all early. I feel like they're early, but that's what.
You got another one. You going Kevin Nash next or something?
No, I have somebody I want to pick, but he's not looked at in the best light anymore. Am I allowed to draft?
Do it.
Are we allowed to? Can we say that like outside of wrestling we're not considering that?
Unless you're taking Chris Benoit, I think.
Oh, come on now. Come on now.
All right, I won't do it then.
Come on now, Patty.
Kurt Angle.
I'm taking Hulk Hogan.
Wow. Guys, yeah. I'm pandering here. I'm going to be honest with you. And I'm on a back-to-back. I'm going Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And I'm going Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah. You're golly.
You've got good wrestlers, guys, but listen.
He's trying to win the draft. I get it.
It sounds bad, but I'm treating the women like kickers. We do defense and kicker.
I'm going Bret the Hitman Hart.
That's a good one.
Oh, there you go.
That one.
There you go.
My roster is solid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not elite, but I'm holding my own.
That's what I'm saying. I think we all have solid rosters, but if we're looking at this from the lens of who's gonna win,
don't say it out loud. We don't want to.
It's probably Patty.
We don't want to skew the fans. Freaking Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker back to back is sick. And then John Cena, all of the baby poppers are gonna love.
Is it my turn?
Yes, it's your turn 2 times.
I'm hitting all the age ranges.
Literally, you are.
I will take Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
It's all about the game.
That's a good one.
I had to feel it because if not, Patty's going to try to get all of DX, and we can't have that.
You cannot have that. And then it's over.
How many?
You get another one.
All right, so we're picking my on.
You are on number.
I need to know when I need to start picking.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick number 7.
Jeff Hardy.
Oh.
I should have took Bad Bunny.
Now listen.
There's a layup. Being honest, there's still a layup.
I'm sure there is, and I'm just blanking on it, man.
You know what?
Ooh, I thought of another one. You know what? 10 was a good choice. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, I'm going to Macho Man. Because I'm gonna recreate the Hulk Hogan Macho Man Randy Savage beef and get all the old baby boomers excited.
There you go. They don't know how to use Twitter, so
son of a gun.
Actually, they do. They're in droves now.
They are. Shout out to MAGA. Whoops.
You did draft Hulk Hogan.
You did draft Hulk Hogan. I'm going to draft the real American here. And we're going to go Cody Rhodes.
You got to go 3 women straight.
All right. Number 1 woman off the board. I am going Rhea Bloody Ripley.
I'm about to make Dave so mad on purpose, and I'm here for it. I'm going to go with probably the second greatest dude on the mic ever, Dusty Rhodes. I'm going Dusty.
Is it my turn now?
It's your turn. You got 3 ladies.
I will take female John Cena. Give me Charlotte Flair.
That's fair.
That is a good point. She is.
Charlotte Flair, not so popular with the crowd right now. But AJ Lee is. I'll take AJ Lee.
That's a good one.
That is a great one.
That was a good one. That was going to be one of my sneaky ones.
I'm going Lita.
Good one.
Also a good one. That was the one
I was hoping she made it back.
I was going Lee to AJ Lee. So good job, guys.
There you go.
Now I got to figure life out. Oh, it's back to back here too. Oh, what do I do?
Last 2 picks.
I'm going young goat, future goat. Her name is Tiffany Stratton. Who do I go with after this, though?
Drafting
Do I
with
go
the future in
throwback?
mind.
Do I have to go like old school here? Because I don't really like.
Go Fabulous May Mueller, man. Just do it.
I'm not that old school. We tripping.
Just do it, man. Just do it. Get the people going.
Do I take Dave's boo thing?
Do it, please.
I'm not drafting her. She can get back to me. I'm not drafting her.
Do I take my boo thing? We'll talk about it as offline. Maybe I go the real female John Cena and I go Nikki
Sable.
Bella.
Oh, that's a good. That's actually a toxic situation, but I like the way you think. I like the way you think. I got my ladies are better than you guys. I got Trish and Lita.
Those are solid.
Yeah. I'm going Bianca Belair.
That's a good pick.
A good one. That's a real good pick.
I'm going Bianca Belair. She gets the people going, and she knows how to play to the crowd really well. I like it.
I'm closing this out.
Oh, damn.
With another member of DX.
Who the heck else?
I named my first dog after her.
I gotta change a pick.
Oh,
I'm taking China.
Son of a gun.
That's not even who I'm thinking of.
That's who that is. Why didn't I
Good
take
pick,
China?
though.
She walked so Rhea Ripley could run.
That is valid.
You're
You
right.
cannot.
I would like to point out that no one took Becky Lynch, and that is the biggest snub.
I thought of Becky Lynch. I almost took Becky over AJ Lee, but I kind of wanted to. I don't know. I didn't want to go with somebody super present.
That's fair.
But
Man,
no, Becky. I definitely thought about Becky Lynch.
All right, so I'm looking at this, and man,
Patty's winning the fan vote. We already know.
he is not. Honestly,
Yes, he is.
Patty is not winning because we're putting this on Twitter, not Instagram.
He doesn't get my vote because he's got John Cena.
Yeah, we are not the only ones that do not think John Cena should have been a 3rd round pick. There's more people like us in this world.
There's probably people that see that and say, how did John Cena not go first?
I don't even like John Cena.
Yeah, I know.
I just know that he is literally looked at as one of the best wrestlers of all time.
Good, congratulations having a brand that you don't even want to watch, Patty.
Oh, I'm gonna watch the other guys.
John's on okay lunch break.
He's booking Cena to get his ass whooped every week.
Dude, you do that Shawn Michaels Undertaker matchup is gonna carry you for, and then you got Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins on your undercard.
I'm telling you,
with Cody,
they could all work together. You don't even know. They just
Dave is sneaky good though, because Stone Cold. I never really liked. Did Stone Cold and Eddie wrestle each other? I feel like they wrestled once, and it was not really that good.
I don't know,
because they kind of have the same but different role.
Stone Cold can wrestle, if we're being honest. My man,
but he's the great. He is the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
We're not about to disrespect Stone Cold.
Oh yeah, no. He is. I don't know who is this. Nobody's. That is the GOAT. You have the GOAT on this board. Hey, if we're talking pure wrestling, I feel like I've got the best wrestlers. Like I feel like Dave, you got the best showman. Like Stone, outside of Kurt Angle, your wrestling is like
Kurt Angle's a showman.
But
hold on,
he is a showman. But I'm saying like I'm talking about
to be clear.
Guys that can
to be clear, I drafted Perk Angle.
Yeah,
I don't care what he wants to be called. I know what I'm calling him.
I love it. But no, your guys can put on a show. Like you got showmen. Patty has got like the celebrities. He's like
got the
Hollywood.
ratings draws.
Yeah, I got just pure wrestlers. Like The Rock and Ric Flair have to carry me from a rating standpoint. Well, Hulk Hogan will pull in the MAGA crowd, so I think I should be good there. That's facts.
They're watching Fox News right now. They're not even clicking on.
Hey, I'm about to get a Fox News contract out of this. What are y'all saying? I'm about to be on Fox.
Hulk Hogan. We recently saw Hulk Hogan and how the fans interact with him. You might lose some points for that one.
Yeah, not like it.
Listen, the light change is so disrespectful. Oh my goodness. But thank y'all so much for tuning in and checking out what our group chat looks like. Much love, more life. God bless to you. And by the way, always be thankful, man. I don't know if you can see that. Find a reason to be thankful in your life. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment below whose brand is winning. Is it NXT with my guy Dave? Am I doing my thing with SmackDown? Or is Raw being the premier brand once again because they have John Cena. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. God bless. And stay safe out there.